Just follow the rope. I'll go down first. I'll stop halfway.
Our trip starts in Hollywood with rare access to one of America's most famous signs.
And within a blink of a second, they said, the Hollywood sign is America, Jeff.
From Hollywood, we head to the Grand Canyon, El Paso, and through Texas into Fort Worth to talk Western culture and American pride.
What do you think it means to be an American?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get teary-eyed.
From Texas, we take flight to Florida to check out tourism and gators.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, there's a big gator right there. He likes to hang out here.
Then we get serious, acknowledging tough times in our nation's history with Martin Luther King's son.
If we could bring your dad back just for today and we asked him, what do you think of America at 250? What do you think he would say?
That's a very good question.
If tomorrow all the things were gone.
Then it's on to Nashville, the story behind one of the most famous songs about America.
Without God Bless USA, my career would have been dead long ago. I gotta acknowledge that.
After a quick stop at Raleigh, we finish leg 2 with the story behind the soldiers who guard the tomb of the unknown soldier.
The ceremony that you're about to witness is the changing of the guard.
Our final leg starts at Mount Rushmore, but our story takes us to another mountain carving 17 miles away.
Yes, you could fit the whole carving of Mount Rushmore into the side of Crazy Horse's head.
From there, we head to Wisconsin for some famous cheese.
They're making 14.2 million curds today.
Chicago for baseball.
Hey, souvenirs over here, guys. Stop and shop.
And then Michigan to meet a world record teacher, 90 years young.
Do you remember what you made your first year?
$4,400.
As we inch closer to the end of our journey, we meet a first responder from the Flight 93 crash nearly 25 years after 9/11.
Don't ever forget that day.
In Philly, we catch up with the great-great-grandson of Teddy Roosevelt. And in New York, my colleague Dean Meminger takes us to Harlem.
Well, a lot of black people moved to Harlem because they wanted the American dream.
And as our trip wraps up, we stop in New Hampshire to catch up with one of the greatest documentary filmmakers of all time, the one and only Ken Burns.
To be an American is to fully engage with heart and mind and body in the process of democracy. It is not a spectator sport.
It's an adventure of a lifetime to celebrate America 250 and rediscover what it means to be an American. Come along for the ride. Coming up on Front Porch Politics.
I respond to flexes, whether it's somebody in an airport coming after me or the President of the United States the same way.
This summer, U.S. Senator Tom Tillis voted against President Trump's big, beautiful bill.
Now, Republicans are about to make a mistake on health care and betraying a promise.
And he shocked the political world with a retirement announcement.
They said he was brave. He said no to the president, but he resigned the following morning.
We'll take you behind his decision.
If you think you're going to go down the path of public pressure, you found the wrong guy.
And the threats he has received in recent years.
Yeah, Tom Tillis, afraid of death threats. Then get the
Look, if you want to threaten me, you better bring it.
And why the frustration became too much for him to take any longer.
Welcome into another edition of Front Porch Politics, the show that puts politics back into our communities. I'm Tim Boyum. We are here in Cornelius and beautiful Lake Norman to talk to U.S. Senator Tom Tillis about his very public spat with President Donald Trump and his decision to retire and not run for re-election in 2026. Now, on the face of it, this might seem like a strange place to talk about all of that in Washington, but as you'll find out, in so many ways, this is the perfect place.
It's an entry-level trail with a few little obstacles.
Navigating tree roots on a rugged trail with Tom Tillis, you learn quick, you gotta keep up.
So tell me where we are first.
This is about 20 acres of wood across the street from Teton Park and Cornelius, where I used to play hide and seek with my dog.
The Republican U.S. Senator relaxed in a much different place than he was 2 months ago.
Now, Republicans are about to make a mistake on health care and betraying a promise.
This seems like an appropriate place to talk about the end of his Senate career because, in a way, it was born in this very spot, a push to create a mountain bike trail in Cornelius.
I had a very detailed proposal, being a management consultant, PowerPoint, everything else obligatory, and they were impressed with it. So it was the chair of Park and Rec Advisory Board that said, well, you know, great proposal. Maybe if you come on the board, it'll help you get it done.
It sparked a political career. In 2003, he won a seat on the Cornelius Town Commission. In 2006, the IBM management consultant won a seat in the State House. And in 2010, he traveled the state recruiting candidates.
Rode the truck all over the state, put about 40,000 miles on it, raised a lot of money by our standards today, not by today's standards, by the standards of the day. And we took a majority, and we've had it ever since.
His colleagues picked him as only the second Republican House Speaker since the Civil War.
I think he's one of the best. It's probably the best Speaker of the House the state ever has.
To better understand why he's retiring now, it's worth taking a step back and understanding who Thom Tillis is and why he finds himself in the crosshairs of both the left and the right.
The Thom Tillis that I've known is one of the most conservative politicians in modern North Carolina history.
Jordan Shaw was Tillis's communications director during his state house days, then went on to run his U.S. Senate campaign in 2014, has been an advisor ever since.
This is one of the most prolific policymakers we've seen.
Coming up on Front Porch Politics.
Tim, this is the biggest race in the state of North Carolina. Let's face it.
He's arguably the most powerful politician in the state.
I'm Phil Berger. I'm the Republican Senate leader right here in North Carolina.
But he's facing one of the biggest elections of his life.
Why do you think you're facing the primary?
It's a local state Senate seat, but drawing attention from the President of the United States.
President Donald Trump just dropped a powerful endorsement.
And millions are pouring in for ads.
Meet Shady Sam Page, a traveling man.
Can a local sheriff knock off the state's top leader?
Senator Berger has been absent. He's an absent senator.
I think he craves the attention.
Polls show a potential upset, but can we trust those same polls?
I think he's definitely concerned, and I think he's taking this very seriously, as he should.
In a month, voters will have the final say. Hey everybody, welcome on into another edition of Front Porch Politics. I'm Tim Boyum. So listen, when we started this show 5 years ago, I never dreamed we'd dedicate a statewide show to one single state Senate district. But here we are, and all signs pointing to a very unusual situation, one that we all need to pay attention to. The town of Eden, home of some 15,000 people where the Dan and Smith rivers meet. Textile mills once ruled the riverbanks, but like so many rural towns, it's a whisper of the past. It's also ground zero of Senate District 26 that includes Rockingham and Guilford counties, the home of Senate President Pro Tem and Republican Phil Berger.
If you go 2 miles that way, you're in Virginia.
To Hanover County.
In North Carolina, the Senate leader is arguably the most powerful politician in the state, even more so than any governor.
We're at Freedom Park. In Eden.
Senator Berger's lived here for 4 decades, leaving factory work for college and then law school at Wake Forest, all while raising a family.
I quit my job, I sold her house, and I moved her and 2 young children into a 2-bedroom apartment in Winston-Salem. Yeah, and so she went to work at Wake Forest in the admissions office, and I worked painting apartments to make sure that we had income while I was a full-time law student.
In 2000, Berger ran for the state Senate and won. 10 years later, after Republicans took control of the legislature, for the first time in 140 years, he was elected Senate President Pro Tem and has held the position ever since. But he now faces an unusual challenge, a primary, from a man who says it's time for a new sheriff in town.
Which is home of the Reesville Rams. By the way, this year, state champions in football and doing a great job.
That man is Sam Page, literally a small-town sheriff, straight out of Central Casting, down to the cowboy hat and Southern accent.
When we get a threat, complaint, we follow up on it until we find out otherwise.
Sheriff in Rockingham County since 1998.
It's my home church. It's a good location to just sit and talk.
We're rolling. You ready?
Okay.
We met him here to talk about why he's challenging Senator Berger and if he thinks he really can win. The story starts a couple years ago, but Sheriff Page publicly ramped it up last February.
You heard rumors that Senator Berger was going to retire. I did hear that. And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to do it. And I announced on my anniversary, February 13th, that I'll be running for North Carolina Senate District Seat 26, representing Guilford and Rockingham County.
Hello, my name is Sam Page, and I'm a candidate for the North Carolina Senate.
It shocked the political world, but for the most part, people weren't sure what to make of it. By June, he was seen at the legislature supporting shrimpers who were battling Senator Berger and other Senate Republicans. Sheriff, it's good to see you, sir. Thanks for joining us. In October, he talked about the race on my podcast.
I think that his ears are deafened to the citizens that he works for.
Coming up on Front Porch Politics.
It's hard to look back and think of any other time in history where we've seen this new amount of demand for electricity coming online this quickly.
The power play at hand as plans for massive data centers grow exponentially.
We're going to need all of those generating resources that are economically viable.
The centers bring tax money and jobs, but also concerns about water, noise, and electricity.
It is obviously this community does not want data centers in their community.
Just the thought of it kind of boils my blood.
Will there be enough power?
I mean, right now, I think over the next year, AI companies will spend over $600 billion on AI.
And who will pay for it?
They need to be carrying the weight of the cost that they are putting onto the system.
Hey everybody, welcome on in to another edition of Front Porch Politics. I'm Tim Boyum. This month we're talking about what is likely the most important issue facing North Carolina over the next couple decades, but an issue very few people even know about. How do we provide enough power for the growth in North Carolina, but also the growth of AI and data centers? It's an issue playing out in communities all across the state.
It's 5:30 on a cool February night in Canton.
I want to create a baseline of truth, what brings us here today.
A line already snakes around the temporary town hall, anxious homeowners waiting for their moment at the mic.
This isn't right.
In a word, people are worried.
Everything that Canton has built within the last couple of years, after all of the hurricanes and the fighting and the mill being gone, it's all going to be destroyed.
They are worried about water.
So if this breaks down, it is going to pollute our water, and we do have cattle that drink from the Pigeon River.
They are worried about sound.
Round-the-clock noise.
They are worried about something that might not even come. But just the idea of it has made Town Hall as popular as the high school football field on a Friday night.
The data center coming in really is a scary thought for me. The amount of jobs that it will produce, I don't think it is worth it to put it there to jeopardize the integrity of the town.
On the agenda, a moratorium on data centers.
For some communities, it works, and those communities, embrace it. But again, you and I have talked several times before, North Carolina is a collection of these small towns. And what works in one doesn't mean it's going to work in the other.
A town nearly destroyed by floods in 2021. A town still reeling from a mill closure and 1,000 jobs lost in 2023. And a town yet again recovering from devastating flooding in 2024 from Hurricane Helene.
Yes, it creates revenue for your town, which is wonderful. I would love nothing more from going into a very unstable economic situation because of the mill closure and the floods to having plenty of money in my general fund. But again, we cannot sacrifice the gifts of the Almighty for the almighty dollar.
But there's another side to this electric debate, the side you have not heard much from until now.
I think over the next year, AI companies will spend over $600 billion on AI. And it's just getting started.
Drew Nations is a North Carolina native and data center developer. We should say right off the bat, he does not represent all data centers nor AI companies, nor does he have anything to do with the situation in Canton.
This is a site we recently rezoned to be a data center campus, and that's really what our company does.